Hello everyone, my name is Miss Trisket, and this is the second video in the series I started called Movie Makeup Horror Edition, and I'll be continuing the series off with the 3-foot-tall killer Chucky in Child's Play. Once again, I'll be talking about the entire movie in graphic detail, so spoiler warning and trigger warning. Alright, let's get started. On November 9th, 1988, Charles Lee Ray is chased down after a failed robbery by Detective Mike Norris. After he's fatally shot, his partner in crime Eddie decides to bail and drives away in the getaway van despite Charles's pleas. Stumbling into a toy store, Charles desperately uses his voodoo amulet, the Heart of Damballa, to transfer his soul into a good guy doll. The chant causes lightning to burst through the store skylight and cause an explosion. Although Norris finds Charles's dead body, his soul successfully transferred into the doll, which is found by a peddler. The next morning, Chucky is bought by a woman named Karen as a last-minute birthday gift for her son Andy. As Karen has to work, her friend Maggie babysits Andy that night. Everything seems normal until Andy is told to get ready for bed. He tells her that Chucky wants to stay up and watch the news. Believing he is playing, she sends him off to go brush his teeth, only to find Chucky is on the couch with the TV turned on. Maggie scolds him, but he denies doing anything. She simply tucks him in and goes back to the living room. Chucky slips out of Andy's bedroom and begins to scare Maggie. He knocks over a bowl of sugar to get her to the kitchen, but when she goes to clean it up, he grabs a hammer and hits her, causing her to fall out the window to the ground below. Detective Norris and his partner Jack are called in to investigate the death and to question Andy. Norris suspects Andy may have something to do with it, as the Andy sneakers are the closest match to the footprints and the sugar. Karen comes home as they are talking with Andy and angrily makes him leave. Once the police are gone, she goes to check on her son and sees him talking to the good guy doll. At first it seems innocent until Andy tells her that the doll's real name is Charles Lee Ray and that he said that Aunt Maggie was a real bitch and she got what she deserved. Karen sends Andy off to school the next day, but along the way, Chucky gets Andy to take him to Eddie's hideout. As Andy goes off to the bathroom, Chucky blows out the pilot light on the stove and turns up the gas. Eddie hears his stove door open and takes his gun to check it out. He fires wildly at the noise, causing his house to explode. The detectives are called in again and find Andy at the scene. Suspicious, they call Dr. Ardmore to monitor while they interview him. When Jack asks why Maggie fell, Andy says that he saw Chucky and it scared her so much she fell down. Karen explains to him that no one believes his story and if he does not tell the truth, the police will take him away from her. Scared, Andy confronts Chucky, begging him to say something, but he just repeats his same dull lines. He returns to his mother, telling her Chucky is doing it on purpose and he would kill him if he ever told anyone about him. From behind the glass, Ardmore announces his appearance and suggests that Andy stay a few days at the hospital. With Andy sent to the hospital, Karen takes Chucky back to her apartment. She notices that the doll had been running without batteries and cautiously checks the doll's back. Chucky's head sharply turns backwards as she looks, making her drop the doll. Although she's scared, she pulls out the doll from under the couch and continues to try to make the doll talk. Chucky then attacks her and she tosses him to the other side of the room, allowing him to escape. As Karen gets Detective Norris in to help her find out more about the doll, Chucky follows and sneaks into Norris's car. While Norris is driving back home, Chucky tries to strangle him. Mike gets him off temporarily by burning his cheek with a cigarette lighter plug, but Chucky continuously tries to stab him from behind his seat. Unable to drive while being attacked, the car goes out of control and flips over. He continues to try and stab him, but Mike shoots him. As he thought the doll was invincible, he was shocked to see that the bullet hurt him and Chucky runs off. Needing answers, he locates his voodoo instructor John Bishop. He explains to Chucky that he must transfer his soul into a human, but it must be the first person who revealed himself to Andy. However, he refuses to help Chucky and attempts to call the police. Before he can, Chucky pulls out a voodoo doll which is connected to John and he stabs the doll and leaves John to die. Chucky sneaks into the hospital and he manages to break into Andy's room, but by that time Andy had escaped. Andy finds his way downstairs into the operating room as Chucky follows him. He manages to knock Andy to the ground, but he hides when Dr. Ardmore comes into the room. Ardmore puts Andy in a bed and tries to sedate him. While they struggle, Chucky grabs his scalpel and stabs Ardmore in the back of the leg. Once on the ground, he puts an electric shock helmet on him and shocks the doctor to death. During this time, Andy runs back to his apartment, but Chucky's right on his trail. Once the two reach the apartment, he knocks Andy unconscious with a baseball bat and begins the ritual. However, before he finishes, Mike Norris and Karen enter. He stabs Mike in the leg and then knocks him unconscious with the bat before he hits him again. Karen shoots him, redirecting his attacks, and Karen throws him into the fireplace, and despite Chucky's pleas, Andy lights a match and ignites the fireplace. Karen sends Andy to get the first aid kit, but Andy sees that Chucky is not in the fireplace. Completely burnt, Chucky chases after Andy, who runs into the bedroom. Karen shoots him several times, knocking off his head, arm, and leg. When Mike's partner Jack arrives, he grabs Chucky's head and brings it back to the bedroom. When Jack isn't paying attention, Chucky's body sneaks through the air vent to follow the head and breaks through the vent to strangle Jack. As Karen pulls Chucky's body off of Jack, Mike shoots him in the heart, finally killing him. I hope you liked this video. Please comment what horror movie you want me to do next.